Our last story this week, this isn't an Xbox story per se, but I just want to...
It's a gaming industry story.
Yeah, but it's still relevant. I mean, so Amy Hennig, the writer on... Going back to Legacy of Kain,
Jak 3.
And then Uncharted. She's a 10-year veteran at Naughty Dog, an extremely respected figure within the games industry.
Talented.
Very, very talented. We broke this story, our own news team. She apparently was forced out of Naughty Dog
the term that multiple people have used.
by the other bigwigs there, Neil Druckmann and
Bruce Straley.
Yes.
Yeah. The Last of Us guys.
Yes, which is extremely surprising to hear. Very, very odd.
Yeah, I mean, this is a complicated story that we only know a very small portion of. It's one of those things like the Patrice Ubisoft, kerfluffle, things that we may never know the full story.
Did you just say kerfluffle?
Did I? That's like what teddy bears do. They have kerfluffles. They don't have kerfuffles.
But I mean, the reason I did want to talk about this story, even though it is a Sony story, is because immediately, I tweeted it out because it's just very relevant in gaming industry news, and a lot of people started tweeting me back about, Microsoft should pick her up. Microsoft should pick her up, and so I thought, well, okay, let's discuss the hypothetical scenarios there because, I mean, you never know. She may stick with Sony and just either join an existing team or start a new studio with Sony. That's entirely possible. But hypothetically, if Microsoft wanted to recruit her, because it's she's immensely talented, and that's the most important thing, and not as important, but they'd have the side benefit of it's a PR win as well. If you just like we just saw Corinne Yu, one of the brilliant technology and programmers from 343 went to Naughty Dog, and
exactly.
that was a nice get for Naughty Dog and for Sony. So let's say Microsoft were to pursue her and she were to be interested. A lot of people were like, Microsoft should get her for 343. And like, well, that sure sounds good on paper, but you got to understand that with all due respect to the fine folks at 343, they've made an amazing game in Halo 4. I'm not sure a entrenched, veteran, established storyteller like Amy Hennig wants to, I don't want to say doom herself because that carries a really negative connotation, but I don't know if she wants to, let's say, shackle herself. I know that also sort of carries a negative connotation, but if she wants to be willingly bound to Halo for the next 10 years.
Franchise. When the last decade of her life has been Uncharted. You look at it like the way you look at movie directors, like Christopher Nolan spent a decade doing the Batman trilogy. He probably doesn't want to be attached to another trilogy like that for a long time. He wants to be able to make his single movies.
Right. So I feel like, and the other part of it is too, Joe Staten was just hired back by Microsoft but I know he is taking sort of a more apparently overarching writing, storytelling role. He is not single-handedly writing the Halo story. But I mean, I think 343 is a pretty unlikely destination for Amy Hennig.
I would love if someone picked her up, just let her do something original, let her do her own thing.
And that's where I'm with you. Because why? So I said this on Twitter. Why, if you are Microsoft, let's going with the hypothetical scenario. If you're Microsoft, why hire her to write Halo, which is already a super successful thing that you have? When you could have her write and build you a brand new universe that could potentially generate you billions of more dollars.
Absolutely.
That's the move. That's the way to go.
Honestly, I keep thinking she's from the Bay Area. I could see her going to Pixar, just leaving games and
that would be cool.
And that would be
because even. I mean, I think most human beings, if they have any light in their soul, which I know earlier in the show I pretty much indicated that I
only
do
when
not.
You play games. Only when you play games.
Yeah, I'm only evil in games. Everybody loves Pixar, but even to me, Pixar was basically infallible for their first 8, 9, 10 films
until they started becoming.
And then Cars happened, which was financially super successful. But mediocre film. Cars 2, further down that trail. And Brave, which is possibly the prettiest 3D film I've ever seen. Like that
was
world,
gorgeous.
Watching it in 3D in the theater was incredible, but I really did not like the film. Like as soon as the twist happened, I knew instantly what the rest of the movie was going to be, and I did not care for the movie.
Absolutely.
And then I haven't seen Monsters U, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, Monsters U was good. It was completely unnecessary, but it was a good 90-minute movie.
But in any case, I like the way you think so.
Yeah,
she could. My point is, she could reinvigorate a Pixar.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Right?
Yeah. Oh man, imagine like her taking that sort of pulp Indiana Jones sensibilities that she had with Uncharted and doing something not like Uncharted, but sort of with that same force behind it at Pixar. Would be really exciting.
Now, the other common reply I got on Twitter besides 343 for her was, "Oh, what if she went to Black Tusk and got their shelved game going?"
Yeah.
Their shelved IP. Oh, look at that! It's 5 o'clock already. Boy, the show is just moving right along. So, anyway, yes, Amy Hennig out at Naughty Dog under crummy circumstances, apparently, which is unfortunate. But the good news is she will be in. I'm sure her phone is already ringing off the hook.
I mean, absolutely.
She will not be unemployed for very long.
100%. Yeah.
And you never know. I mean, maybe she could end up at Microsoft. Yeah. Depends if she wants to move up to Seattle or if if Microsoft just wants to say build a studio wherever you want.
Yeah,
we will fill you out.
Yeah,
but
that'd be amazing.